Hi, bestie. Welcome back to Girl House with Callie.
And Celia.
I don't know if we said last time if it was Girl House or Living with Ease. I can't remember. But I mean, we know, rebrand coming very soon. If you missed in last week's episode, we explained there were some creative issues with the rebrand, but it's coming out. We have our shoot this weekend. And
so soon.
Hopefully the new rebrand date is
August 23rd, I think.
Let me make sure. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, August 23rd, which is also when we have some very exciting announcements for you. I mean, I'm freaking the hell out. We actually have to do some stuff this weekend, too.
I know.
Yeah, I wish we could tell you, but we can't.
Mark your calendars for the 23rd and you'll be very happy.
Yeah, and then you'll have to mark your calendars again. That's all I will say.
That was a lot of tea.
I know. Yeah. Okay. I am so excited to chat with you today because I feel as if the last time I spoke to you, I was a different woman.
I knew you were going to say
than I am today.
A changed woman.
I am a completely new woman, and I want to literally thank Chat GPT. But today we're going to talk about ghosting on the other end, because I know we've talked to you before about like what to do if you're ghosted. And I, this past weekend, was recently a ghostee. But then later in the week, I had the opportunity to ghost someone. And after being ghosted, I just realized, like, I'm sorry, but karma-wise and, like, everything-wise, it's so easy to not ghost someone.
And it's so easy, exactly, to just send that message as to why, or just a nice message versus having someone sit around for hours, days, months.
And, like, wondering what they did, whatever.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I want to say, let's get in with the updates, but, like, I actually did a bestie check-in, and a few people said they were ghosted, and, like, some even were like, it was, like, a good date, whatever. I have learned you cannot take ghosting seriously, or not, you can't take ghosting personally, because you never know what's going on in someone else's life. And also, this is the cold hard truth. This really, I hate this, but like, to be honest, as you said this weekend,
oh God, what did I say?
You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
Like, some people genuinely, like, yeah, maybe some people have things going on in their lives. Like, maybe some people, like, whatever, they're scared to fall in love with you, but some people just don't like you, and you have to be okay with that.
And women also can be deceitful. You might think you had a great time, and still
I was okay. Let's get into the updates, because I feel like this is all coinciding. As you know, I've been using,
and also, sorry to interrupt, but about the cup of tea, I just had to quickly say this. The whole point is, like, the person who you are meant to be with would never ghost you.
Oh my God, never.
So, like, if you're questioning even, like, anything about it, probably not your person. I just don't think you'll be questioning it so much.
I mean, I feel like we're spewing so much wisdom in the first 2 minutes of the episode. But I was, like, feeling really, and I'll get into this, but I was feeling really, honestly, sad on Monday. And I was feeling really just, like, kind of, like, down on myself for being ghosted after what I thought was, like, a good evening. And then, like, all of a sudden, I, like, got this, like, almost, like, euphoric feeling. And I was just like, you know what? Actually, like, thank goodness I was ghosted. Because now no one's wasting anyone's time. I think it would have been nicer to send a message. But, like, ghosting is actually, I'm going, like, so, I don't want to say ghosting is a good thing. It's not a good thing to do. But it's not a bad thing to happen to you. Because it's just weeding out the people that are wrong for you. And, like,
yes.
I don't want to say don't take it personally, because honestly, it might be personal. You don't want to be with someone who is not interested in you. Like,
yeah.
And, like,
sometimes it's a hard thing to stomach, to be honest.
Well, it's a really hard thing to stomach that, like, some people just don't like you. Like, that's what's hard for me, because whenever I think, like, for example, this whole surfer boy lore for the past, I don't even know how long. Yeah, it turns out, like, genuinely, like, he just doesn't like me. This guy this past weekend, he just didn't like me. And, like, I obviously want to be like, oh, they were scared because they liked me so much. But no, some people just don't like you. And I think that's a really important step you have to make in your life to move forward. I mean, we'll get more into this wisdom, but I think we should do our updates, because we both had incidences this weekend. I feel like Friday was so long ago, but we've got to start with Friday.
I completely forgot that was even this weekend. That feels so long ago.
I know.
Yeah, so we're going out with one of Callie's longtime friends.
This longtime friend of mine has liked me forever. Well, he actually tells me whenever we go out that he loves me, and I've made it very clear, like, we're just friends.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like a perfect example right off the bat of like sometimes people aren't scared, they're just not interested, because I always think it's just people are scared of falling in love with me. But this guy is in love with me, and I do not feel it back at all. And in my head, like, when I like someone so much, I'm like, if I feel this way, it's impossible for them not to feel that way.
Yeah.
But with this situation, he would do anything for me, and I don't feel the same way.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it is, unfortunately. I mean, I feel like
it's such a hard thing
it's
to
a really
stomach.
hard, yeah, it's a hard thing to stomach. But anyway, so we went out with my friend, and he brought a friend.
Well, this was the thing. Not the only reason we were going out with him, but like the whole plan, rather, because we hang out with him a lot, but the whole plan was that he was going to be a wingman for us,
yeah,
and we were going to be wingwoman for him, because we've acknowledged that Callie and him are just not going to be a thing.
And he promised.
No, he was like, I think it was, I don't know whose idea it was, but I honestly want to say it was his, because, well, he at least said, can you be my wing woman?
Yeah. But like, he promised that he would.
And we were going to a place with a bunch of people, and he promised.
Yeah. We went to Bungalow, which we swore we'd never go to again, or I swore,
because Callie went with,
I had a terrible experience at Bungalow.
Yeah. Anyway, it was much different than we remembered it. But
so much different.
Anyway.
I mean, the person we went with was just...
yeah, shocking. Yeah.
I mean, of course we had a different experience when we went.
Yeah,
we went with a very strange man.
Of course. Anyway, turns out we get there. Turns out he's not wingmanning. What is he doing? Wanting to be dating Callie the entire night.
And then he brings someone for you.
And,
so then,
he did wingman me. Yeah, he brought a friend whom I
yeah,
happened
but
to really...
like, we were supposed to be like going outside of the...
Yeah,
the
and
group.
even in the beginning we were actually going out.
Were we? Oh, yes, of course.
Even in the beginning we were going outside the group, and then all of a sudden I guess I liked his friend. Basically,
we ended up meeting up with them at Bungalow, and we thought it was going to be this night where we like went out, talked to other people, flirted, ended up with you having a romance with his friend for the evening, and me arguing with him.
Yeah, per usual.
We love to get into like little arguments, and then this makes me feel uncomfortable. We went back to our house, and you're welcome to share what happened or not. That's your business, not mine.
Nothing happened.
But
literally nothing did happen.
You kissed.
Yes, we shared a kiss on the porch, which, yes, you can say.
You said your lips hurt from kissing.
Okay, this is way TMI. But basically, yes, on the Ring camera, you can actually see us sharing a kiss. And what did you do, Miss?
That's what I was just going to say. I feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I do too.
We went into my house and we watched interrogation videos on YouTube and cuddled, and I guess I fell asleep in his arms, and that makes me uncomfortable.
Wait, can I actually share something that makes me uncomfortable?
Yeah.
So I think the reason why my lips quite literally did hurt from kissing was I made the mistake of telling him a turn on for me was kissing. And then that's just...
So he just didn't stop kissing you?
Well, I told him like that I would only be kissing him, but I said it in like a flirty way that a turn on for me was kissing, and then it was like, holy F, how much kissing can one do?
Yeah. I mean, all you did was kiss.
Literally, but like to the point where I've never kissed someone so much in my life.
We kept waiting for...
this just sounds perverse,
we kept waiting, me and my friend waiting for Celia and his friend to come out because there were so many different sections.
From the bar? Yeah.
And they just would not leave because they were just kissing.
We were just having a great night. I could not tell you a single thing about anyone else in that place. I was so enthralled in this man.
The whole thing is
it was a fabulous time. I'm not going to lie.
But the thing is, it will never work out with either of these men.
Oh no, and I would never want to do it again. I'm just saying like it was.
No, I'm just saying like I'm like, damn, we could have mingled.
I know. We could have. Yeah, this is why he said he would wing woman us, and he didn't. He didn't. Wingman, whatever. So that was Friday.
But you might go on a date with him.
The more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, there's kind of no point.
Could be fun.
Yeah, it could be fun.
He's
really
very
nice.
Sweet, and he wants to take her on a date.
Yeah, it could be fun. TBD.
Yeah.
So keep you posted on that. I don't even know.
It could just be fun to date.
Yeah, I have not been having the best week, so I've been like not in the mood to go on a date.
Yeah.
But it could be very much so fun. And like I was actually low-key really happy the next day when he was messaging me all this stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously it feels nice.
Feels great.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels great to be liked.
Yeah, that is true. And that's a wrap on that. What's Saturday?
Saturday, I went on a date. So
can we tell what happened at La Cabana first?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna get into that. I'm getting into the whole day. So I've been using Chat GPT to date, and at first it was a joke. Like I will literally send a screenshot of my conversation and be like, "What do I say to this?" And it comes up with the most like formal, aggressive answers ever, and I think it's hilarious. Like it makes me crack up. But I've been doing it. Like I only even if I really like the guy now, I only communicate in Chat GPT, and for some reason it works so well because I'm now a dating machine. Like I have basically gone like 4 or 5 years without really dating at all.
And now it's like all you can do is date.
Now all I can do is date. So I'm not joking. Download Chat GPT. Let it do the work for you because men are dumb. And they just respond so well.
No, I'm like in shock.
No, they just respond so well to like assertiveness and like straightforwardness because they're idiots. And like, you know how like, not to give guys excuses at all, but like so many times people are like, oh, like guys are dumb, like they just don't know, like you have to like tell them how you feel, whatever. Yeah. It's actually really true.
Oh my god, I never thought of it that way. Like you're just laying it out. Yeah. And like think about it, how it's so much work if someone just says like hi to you, which is like typically what we do. It's so much work to think about what to say. Yeah. Versus if you ask questions, of course they have something to answer.
Exactly.
Wow, that's so mind-blowing. And I remember my summer romance when I was like super annoyed, like when he wasn't answering when it became later fall. I remember Jamie telling me he only answers when you ask questions.
Yeah.
Because he's that dumb.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I looked and it was literally true. Like, she's like, he's not going to answer that. It was a statement.
Actually, you know who, so like, I'll read you. I made a whole TikTok of this, but Surfer Boy, like, who has not been texting me back. I had Chat GPT when Celia and I were trying to make plans last weekend. And like, we did not intend on hanging out with him, by the way. We just thought it'd be funny to send to him. I sent this to like 1,000 men and it worked so well.
Wait, this is so true. Everything you've said prior is a statement.
Yeah. So before statement. Then on Thursday I go, hey, my friend and I are in Venice this weekend. We live in Venice. And yeah, he knows that. Here. So like, he's such an idiot. He took this like very seriously. And we're not here to waste time. What are your plans? If you're serious about making something happen, let's get it on the calendar.
And the reason why this is hysterical is because they've talked about the calendar using that terminology so many times that it almost doesn't sound like a joke. With him, it just kind of sounds just like
actually very.
And the prior messages that she had sent.
I don't want to call him. I'm done talking poorly about people on the podcast.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is the prior messages you sent were like asking to meet up, and like you didn't say let's get it on the calendar, but that was the vibe.
I'd just like to say for the record, because I'm never speaking poorly about anyone again, because it's just not necessary. I have nothing bad to say about him. I'm hurt.
Oh, obviously. But also, like, men really don't respond well to statements.
No, they don't. No, I just called him an idiot earlier.
Well, he's not an idiot.
Yeah,
he's just
taking it back.
Doesn't understand your text.
Yeah.
So, that's just a fact. Not rude.
He said, hi, Callie. I'm sorry, but I'm gone this weekend and have been out of town the last few days.
Okay.
Like, okay. Yeah, let's do it. How's Sunday look for you? I go, Sunday's too late. We're doing this tomorrow. Okay, deal. I'm free tomorrow after 5. After 5 works. Lock in a spot that's worth it or I'll choose. And he said, okay, let's grab a drink at Venice Wine Bar. I said, Venice Wine Bar works. My friend's coming too. So make sure you're ready for both of us. Perfect. See you at 6.
Can you imagine?
Make it 7. See you then. But like, that's the thing. I would never talk like this.
This is so
But then
wild.
I had a date.
Yeah, this is actually so wild.
Here's another guy. He basically says like Cleo's cute, asks if Cleo's coming to Applebee's. My cat's a woman with standards, so Applebee's better step up. What time are we making this happen? This lady definitely has high standards. The sooner the better. Those cheese sticks are looking pretty solid, getting excited. I said, then let's not waste any time. Meet me there in 20. He said, can't tonight though. She's getting hungry. I like it. let's switch to IG if you want, or text.
IG, really?
I said, if you can't tonight, why act like it's
He
urgent?
probably wanted to see if your Instagram was normal.
Yeah. If you can't tonight, why act like it's urgent? Don't waste my time either. Either set a real plan or don't bother. He said, where I'm from, I never propose a date the very first day of texting because it comes off too strong. I'm glad to see you were willing to meet on the first day, but I never expected when we started discussing. I was thinking of the weekend.
Aww.
If you are interested, simply say yes and I'll take care of the rest. Hey, my friend, I sent the same message.
Did you say yes?
No, I didn't respond.
Where's he from?
In Canada. This guy just said, yes, ma'am, text me. And then this guy I went on a date with actually recently. Anyway, the whole point being, like, it actually weirdly works so well. And I think, yeah, it's very bizarre and funny, but then when you get on the date, you can be like, you've been Chat GPT'd.
Although you did say that to your date and he didn't understand, correct?
Yeah, but the right man will understand.
Of course.
So,
what did he say when he said
I'm
it?
going to get to date number 2, but first I have to go through date number 1.
Yes.
So date number 1, Celia and I were at La Cabana and just having a blast.
This part is freaking out.
And I didn't think I was going to see this guy that night because I thought we were going to go to Applebee's on Sunday, but he really wanted to see me on Saturday. So I was like, if you want to come to Venice, because like
first you had a plan to go to Applebee's, then you said you couldn't.
Yeah. Well, because that's what I said. We were going to go on Sunday.
No, but that night, remember he wanted to go?
He wanted to. I had no plans to go.
Yeah.
This whole Applebee's thing is like honestly a bit inconvenient because Applebee's is like it's a far drive. It's like 35 minutes. I'd have to have you drop me off because I'm not going to a date sober. So I'd have to have you drive me there.
Hang around in the area.
And then pick me up when the date. Like I just like can't.
Is there a World Market over there?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. I could pass the time.
Yeah. But
not with all these dates you're booking.
It's just
5 nights a week.
Yeah, it's just a lot. So anyway, I was like, you can come to Venice if you want. And he lived in Newport. So he came to Venice. And
but first at
when
La
we were, I'm getting there.
Sorry.
When we were at La Cabana,
I'm so excited
here
about
you
this
can
part.
you can tell the part.
I'm sorry, I'm being so annoying. I'll stop. But this one part just like really got me going.
Yeah.
So we're sitting at La Cabana. As you know, they've brought us a shot once before. It did not go well.
It went fine.
It went just fine, but like I actually wasn't taking it. So what did I do? I poured my other shot for you. And Callie just took like a really long time to take the shot. And
yeah, because it was 2 shots.
Yeah. And then they just like kept coming over. It was the whole thing. But anyway, this time they brought us a shot and it was like, oh, okay. And then that was awesome. We took it. And then later in the night, you were like, I have a date. Can we please get 2 margaritas to go? They bring out these huge double margaritas. And then the guy who we're least close with there.
Well, not
keep
anymore.
in mind. Not anymore, but we were prior to this night.
I would say prior to like 4 nights past.
No, I'm talking about like the brother.
Oh, yes, of
like
course.
he literally
Yeah.
doesn't know us that well compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
Because he mans the patio and usually we're inside. But anyway, he basically came up and was like, the guacamole and the margaritas to go are on me. And we were like literally in shock.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was just so
I mean, it was basically 4 margaritas for free and the guac. And the
really
guac is $15, might I add. It's not cheap.
And the to-go margaritas,
$15.25.
might I add, are $22 each.
Yeah, he hooked us up.
Yeah. Now we're in a great mood because we got free margaritas to go and go home and get ready for this date. And I was like, how fun would it be to just have the date come here, have drinks on my porch, Celia can pop in and out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but then I didn't want it to just be like a thing where he comes over. So I was like, we're going to grab drinks, me and my friend, you can come. So I wanted to make it like a friend, like it's just like so much more comfortable to have your friend on the date with you. So I had him come over, and I was like kind of dumbfounded because this guy was so jokey, funny over the phone. I opened my door to the gate and let him in, and he is just like
I can't even imagine your first interaction because I was in shock when I first came out.
like the shyest
What happened
man.
when you first interacted?
Well, I thought he was gonna be like silly, goofy, fun, and he was just like, hey. And I was like,
Did you hug? Like, what was the first interaction? I missed that.
I hugged, and then he was like, I parked down there. I was like, oh, you could have parked in the driveway. And he was like, oh, well, I parked down there. I was like, okay. Anyway, he comes in and we sit down, and it's so awkward. But I feel like I'm pretty good at talking in uncomfortable situations, so I was just trying to like talk through the uncomfortableness. And what did he say to you when you came out? I don't even know.
I cannot remember for the life of me, but I was just like actually in shock
by how shy he was.
Yeah, I remember saying that to you, like that I was in shock.
Yeah,
which like being shy is completely normal and fine. I would say we're both shy, but like he was just so shy.
It was almost like he was and well, looking back, I think he had like a little mean undertone to his shyness.
Yeah, which is really worse.
Yeah. Like, it just seemed like he didn't want to be here, to be honest.
He was just basically silent when I came out.
Yeah. And then I like had
But like not even trying to say it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Just very shy.
So then I had him come inside, and I was like, what do you want to drink? Like, I have wine or beer, because, you know, I'm a beer girl now. I have Corona in the fridge. And I thought he'd choose a Corona, but he chose Chardonnay. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I had to go borrow a wine opener from you because I broke mine.
I think that's when I met him.
Yeah. Then he kind of just like poured back wine and like was like really just like awkward. And
oh, so he was chugging his wine? That means he definitely was just shy.
He wasn't chugging it, but he was definitely drinking it fast. But I mean, who am I to judge? I was drinking a double margarita.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're chatting, but I'm really just talking about myself because it's impossible to get a word out from him. And then we like all of a sudden bond because I was like talking about my high school crazy drug phase, and he was like, oh, well, because I like always am like a little like, should I be talking about this completely? But it is a huge part of, I feel like, where I am now. And then he was like, oh, well, I went to rehab. And then for me, that was like, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Because I felt like we could just bond. And then we did like bond. We had like very similar high school pasts. So then I feel like that's when he opened up. And then we were having fun. And then you came out and we all went to El Chucho together.
At this point, you thought you had so much in common.
Yeah, I did. And I thought I really liked him. We had so many fun tattoos together. And I did think he was handsome in the moment. It's just like more of like like looking back, like there were some things he said, like when I told him, I can always tell if someone thinks like me doing TikTok full time is like stupid by the way I feel like I have to justify it. And I felt like I had to really justify it with him because he was like, well, you can always, you know, maybe you can be a lawyer if you want, like several times. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, I can be a lawyer if I want. Like, I just don't know why you keep bringing this up.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had to be like, well, I'm not like an annoying influencer. Like, I felt like I had to say that, which like just is.
You shouldn't have to justify.
Yeah. And
like he doesn't have to justify his job.
No, he doesn't have to justify it at all. And I like felt like he was talking his job up, and I felt like I had to like justify mine. And then there were like a few other things like he like kept saying over and over like, well, I don't know like why you'd even want to go on a date with me. Like, why are you going on a date with me? Yeah. And like when you were talking to, from experience, I've had exes who say that shit and it never goes well because dating an insecure man is not a good move. And clearly he was like very.
It's just hard to tell if he was like so shy and insecure or an asshole.
I think
pardon my language.
Now I think he's an asshole. Like, I think
like in the moment we were like, oh, he's so shy.
Well, he did say he's shy on his profile. So I think it's a mix of shy, but I think he's also kind of an asshole.
Judgmental and shy. Yeah.
He had a very negative, I don't want to say like dark energy, but he had a very negative energy.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely like a major pessimist. Like, like he is a glass half empty kind of guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, we went to El Chucho and we had a blast. I was like really vibing with him, and I, of course, felt awesome because one of you came up to me and were like, oh my gosh, hi. And I love when that happens. Well, this has happened to me one time when I was on a date, and it was that one time, but please, if you see me.
Yeah, that was epic.
The bestie who I met, she was like, when I told her I was on a date, she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, please, this makes me feel so cool. So like, please, if you see me on a date, I beg of you to say something to me.
He told me how beautiful you were when she was talking to the bouncer.
Well, the bouncer knows all about Surfer Boy, and it's so funny because last time we were there, I told him how Surfer Boy told me he was on his deathbed, which of course is like a figure of speech.
Yeah.
And then the bouncer was like, "Come on, are you kidding me? He's telling you that he's dying to get out of a date with you." And I was like, "It's not." So he brought that up again. But anyway, it was like just like a really fun time. I don't think there's really much more to say than that. There's some photos of us at the bar.
Which at the time,
I like should put that as promo almost and block out his face.
he just looks so freaking creepy in the photos.
He looks like now, and it's just,
I saw them the next day or a couple days, whatever, and I was like creeped out.
Yeah, no, I know, so creepy.
Like
But
his demeanor is just creepy.
His demeanor is creepy. Yeah, like I'll get into this, but like we leave. We go back to my house and go inside, and I can't say I don't remember. we were chatting on my couch, and this is where like he was like creepy. He kept saying like over and over, like it's one thing to say it once, but it was like multiple times, like you can't just invite random people over to your house. And like it got to the point where I was like, are you saying this because like you're gonna kill me or something? Because he kept saying how dangerous it is, and it wasn't. Creepy. It was like in a creepy way. And then he was like, no, I'm just like, it was weird. And like looking back at those photos and like his creepy demeanor, I'm like, oh my god, is he like, am I gonna see him in the news? It just reminded me, because I'll get into the fact that he ghosted me, but I remember this one woman got ghosted by Ted Bundy.
Oh,
and God. She was so sad about it. And then like a month later, she was watching the news with her parents and saw him in the like news for being arrested for murder. So I was like, is this like a Ted Bundy situation? Because he actually, looking back, was like kind of creepy as hell.
Yeah, we're not making that accusation, but it was creepy.
Cool. He looked cool, but he like his demeanor was creepy.
I don't know. We both thought he was like great for you until about 24 hours later when we kind of settled.
Yeah, we had to kind of come to.
Yeah.
But anyway, like we did hook up. We had sex, if you will, on my couch. And it was actually a great time. It was a good experience. I will say it made me realize I literally do not know. I'm done talking about Surfer Boy, actually. The point I was trying to make actually had nothing to do with Surfer Boy, and that is the whole point, is just that it took me 30 minutes to meet another guy and realize it's just I had no one to hyperfixate on. Yeah. And then I had a new person to hyperfixate on, and like Surfer Boy was like,
gone with the wind.
The one great thing about this guy is like I don't even... Yes, I'm talking about him in today's episode because it's just kind of like
it's just a thing between us.
I feel like it's like we'll be talking about it for the rest of time. Yeah. But like it really did like actually like, I mean, I don't even want to say it had like had to get me over him, because like I did not know him, and that made me realize like what the hell. Yeah, it was like all the idea. It's just like if you're upset about a guy, I hate to say it, but unless it was like a serious relationship, then it's different. But like if it's just like a thing, just go on a date and you'll be over it in literally 5 minutes. Yeah. So anyway, I thought the date went pretty well until after we had sex. He basically immediately got up and left. And at first I was like, maybe it's not personal, because he did say like, oh, like I want to sleep in my own bed. But like looking back, like quite frankly, we literally had sex. He got up and then was like, all right,
gotta go to my own bed. I mean, yeah.
Yes, it was late at night, but like maybe we chatted for like 10 minutes after. Hang out for a half an hour.
Seriously. And like, yeah, he could be shy.
Or pull a Dylan from a few episodes ago and scratch my back till I fall asleep and then leave.
So true.
Not that I ever want to be with Dylan, but like,
yeah,
that was
more of a gentleman for sure.
Like it's very ungentlemanlike to do that. And like, yeah, now that I'm thinking back to, it was a good hookup, but it was like a bit aggressive, and now I'm like, is he a murderer?
Stop saying that.
It's just
scary.
Yeah, obviously not. It's just like, no, I was like, oh,
what if?
I was just saying like he really took control, and at the time I was like, obviously that doesn't mean you're a murderer, but like now I'm like,
you know what's so creepy too? Imagine he goes on dates and like the girl's alone, but like he knew I was right there.
Yeah, and like decided to spare me.
Oh my god!
And
this is making me want to
and
throw
he
up.
kept telling me over and over like, you shouldn't let random guys over your house.
Yeah.
Like,
Creepy.
what if he literally, knew? And, like, I talked several times that, like, how many, not, like, our security cameras make noises on our phones whenever, like, any movement goes by.
Yeah.
And he literally asked me, can you please turn that off?
Oh, my God.
Not the security camera, but the sound on my phone. Because he
Oh.
said it reminded him of his alarm. And then I just explained,
weird.
like, we just like having the cameras around. What if he knew, like, okay, there's 4 security cameras that he knows of. My best friend's here.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And he decided not to kill me. He probably was just a weird guy. And I did enjoy our hookup. And I think it's very normal to be, obviously, assertive.
It was just that he was so shy, and then all of a sudden he was Mr.
Obviously,
in
and here's
control.
me again wanting to feel better about the fact that he ghosted me. So I'm like, of
It all
course.
boils back.
Once again, I'm still struggling to say he just didn't like me. He just did not like me. He has to be a murderer. But yeah,
Naturally.
I mean, I had a great time, to be honest. So I texted him the next day and I said,
You had a great time.
hey, I had a great time last night. Radio silence. He never texted me back. And like at first we were like, oh, like he's
Oh yeah, you even got your tarot cards read, huh?
yeah,
I
I
forgot
got
about that.
I got my tarot cards read because I wanted to know if he was gonna text me back. And we were drunk on a Sunday, and I was like, why not? I mean,
Wine, not.
yeah, so true. I passed a tarot card booth, and I was like, let me get them read. It's a very positive reading. She said he wouldn't text me for a few days.
That is true.
So, but I don't think I'll be hearing from him again.
I don't think you want to.
Nor do I want to,
Yeah.
no. So, but at the time I was feeling like just really, like Sunday I felt really just like, not even like, I couldn't shed a tear. It wasn't like sad because like I didn't know him and I actually wasn't obsessing over him for once. It was more just like, I felt like such a loser. Like, especially when you think a date goes well, it's like such a daunting thing for them to not.
That's the
like,
worst.
And it's so hard to realize like they probably just didn't like you. And like the whole time I was like running over everything I did, and I was like, oh my God, was I like weird for this or that or this or that, and driving myself crazy. I had to take like melatonin and just like lay down and put an audiobook on because I was feeling just like, it's so hard to not take personally. Because at the end of the day, it obviously has to do with what the other person's going through, but ghosting is kind of personal. Like, you don't ghost someone.
Yeah, I think you just have to take it. Like we said, like they're not for you, and it's a lot easier said than done.
I just think like at first, like I wanted to say when someone messaged me like recently, like that they were ghosted, like, oh, don't take it personally, but it is personal.
It is personal.
It's completely.
It just means they don't like you.
Yeah.
To be honest, unless there's like a rare circumstance where something's like actually holding them back, but in that case, it's very rare.
Yeah. So he didn't like me, and so,
or here I go with my excuses, but like, or he's not ready for you.
oh, he did bring up his ex several times.
Yeah, that's been.
But that was the first thing he said.
Yeah, that's a
like he was
massive
like,
red flag.
We were like, we're gonna go out, and he was like, well, as long as I run into my ex.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's like, okay.
He brought it up to how I remember he said like that they were friends with benefits, but never turned into a relationship. But he made it sound like he wanted it to.
Yeah.
Never a good sign.
Yeah, maybe because he killed her.
Oh my God. Stop. That's not even funny. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Never a good signing, meaning he probably still liked her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, in my book that I just finished today, the guy, whenever the girl he felt like didn't like him enough, he'd kill them.
Oh my God. Maybe all of this is coming from your book.
Maybe. Book? I don't know what the name was. I have no idea. It's gone. I finished it at the beach today, and Ducky ripped it apart. I'm rambling on. My whole point being, you get ghosted sometimes. That's
and that
life.
leads us to Monday.
Move on. Monday, I realized I don't want to feel the shame of being ghosted. Let me go on another date. So I lined up a date with this guy who, like, I could tell wasn't really my type, to be honest. But I was like, you know what? I, like, literally don't date because I find something wrong with everyone.
Yeah.
And I just won't go. So I was like, I'm just going to start going. And so he proposed a beach picnic.
Love.
Which was very sweet. And so we went on a beach picnic. On the beach picnic, did he solely bring unsalted cashews and tortilla chips
and apricots?
and apricots And it wasn't like it was like he's a very healthy man. He pointed out that he hasn't been to Applebee's recently, but he has been to Outback in college, and they would order the most caloric thing on the menu, and it was disgusting. And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I can't do this shit." I could never be
with a man who cares about calories.
Me neither.
Like, so uncomfortable and shocking to me.
Me neither. But anyway, like
that's like the biggest thing I've ever heard. Actually,
we had wine on the beach though. The sun set. It was fine, but I didn't feel anything like romantic. And there were a few things like the calorie comments. I was like, ew, and like I had to pee on the way out, so I stopped in a restaurant, and he was like so disturbed by that. And I was like, I'm going to pee my pants. And the restaurant owner had no problem with it. He actually unlocked the bathroom for me, so I don't really know. Anyway, and then like Celia dropped me off because I knew I was going to be drinking, and so.
But did he also monitor your wine?
Yes. He did. He didn't pour me. He must have thought I was a drunk because he didn't pour me like another glass. But he poured himself one, or he just was just like rationing the wine for himself. I don't know.
Either way, shocking.
Anyway, when I like asked, there's nothing to really write home or like even say about the date other than it was just like kind of boring.
Oh, and didn't he say he didn't like influencers until his brother started?
Oh yeah, one? He said he didn't like influencers until his brother started dating one, and like, then he was like,
say that about a whole. That's like saying, oh yeah, I didn't like engineers until.
Well, let's not.
What?
He's an engineer.
You've been engineers lately, man.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, yeah. And he also was like making fun of me so much for like my life. Like, yeah, I live a very simple life, and it's thanks to my besties, and it's fucking awesome. But I'm like very insecure about it, and I even said I feel really insecure about it, and he was like really making fun of how
he didn't read the room, and he wasn't interested.
Yeah,
well, he was interested. Actually, that's the worst
part.
No,
he was interested. He was just, and then when I was like, he was like, "Well, is your friend picking you up, or do I need to drop you off?"
Well,
and then
he just doesn't know how to act when interested.
Yeah, I thought he'd like kindly offer to drop me off. Like I didn't think I was gonna have to text you to pick me up. I just didn't plan to. And then I was like, oh, well, I can text my friend. And he like kind of waited a second. And he texted me the next morning. Or no, he texted me that night. And he said, hey, had a nice time with you at the beach. Have to check the calendar, but would be down for some Applebee's next week. And
didn't he say that in the card too?
Probably. Yeah. And my old self would not have responded. Because I was an asshole up until this past Monday. I'm always complaining about being ghosted, but then like and saying how rude it is, but I literally do that. So I was like, I'm done ghosting people, because Sunday or Saturday, whatever, taught me how hurtful it is to be ghosted when you think like I would have appreciated if this guy from Saturday texted me and he was like, hey, I had like a good time too, but it's like just I didn't have to wonder.
Yeah.
Because like I spent all day wondering.
That's the worst part.
Anyway, so I texted him. This was like from Chat GPT / your help, because we made it a little bit more normal. Because I was like, this should be like a normal message. I said, I had such a nice time with you. Not sure if the vibe was romantic, but you're a great guy. And he said, yeah, all good. Was nice to meet you! ! And it was just like now like it's left off. Like
now he knows.
Yeah, now he knows. He's not gonna keep texting me. He doesn't have to wonder. I wasn't an asshole for ghost. Like it was just like,
and it was one date. Like it's not a
yeah,
big deal.
I don't
just tell them exactly. It's not like you're leading him on and on and on.
So I think like the whole point is, number one, ghosting is personal, but just like be happy because it's your person's gonna come to you.
And
can I just say my number? It was gonna be like a 1 and 2 really quickly, and then you can go on.
Sorry.
And number 2, don't ghost. It's not nice.
Period.
And it's so easy to not ghost.
Yeah.
All right, Mike is in your hands.
I was just going to say, like, people spend so much time, I mean us, like, about wondering about if the person's ghosting you is going to text you and all that. But do you really want to be with someone after they've ghosted you? It's embarrassing.
So
like,
true.
They don't like you if they're taking months to answer.
That's
like,
Surfer Boy to me.
I knew you were gonna say that. I didn't mean it about Surfer Boy. I'm just saying in general, like, how are you really gonna? True. How are you really gonna be? Yeah, so true. But how are you really going to be dating someone after they like ghosted you, unless they have like a very legitimate reason? But like to hold out for someone, no, you just didn't like him.
Yeah, but I was sad over another man.
Okay, the point being, you don't want to be with someone who's ghosting you, because the person that you're supposed to be with should be choosing you every day.
Yeah.
Period.
From the beginning.
And like that's
you
just
don't want to
like,
marry someone who was like, yeah, when I met your mom, I was unsure of if I wanted to be with her.
No, not what I want.
Yeah.
So that should make you feel better if someone's ghosting you. Like, it's for you.
Yeah.
For your journey.
Like for example, my dad is a very logical, like non-romantic man, and he still, when he met my mom, he went home that night and told my grandma, I met the girl I'm gonna marry. Like, he was positive. Like,
I love that so much.
But like, that's coming from a man who is not even like a romantic man. Like, it's just like,
boys aren't stupid.
Yeah.
They are, but they aren't.
Yeah, they are, but they are and they are not.
But also, like, we keep talking about how these boys are stupid, but it's because they haven't wanted to date us.
Yeah, you know.
Like, the guy that wants to date you isn't going to be stupid about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I hope not.
They better not be. Yeah. But you can tell such a difference. Like, when you first start dating someone, you know how they're texting you nonstop and making all this effort.
Even the guy for you from this past weekend, he's making a shit ton of effort.
Okay, yeah, but we're not going to date.
Well, let's wrap it up and do confession time.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Callie and Celia. Okay, so I need to say the story about this crazy guy I talked to for about 3 months. We were close and in a situationship sort of thing for about 3 to 4 months. He was normal and a nice guy. He took me out on dates, paid for everything, and was generally perfect, almost too good to be true.
I had one of these.
Yeah, so true. When I popped the question of what are we, he said he wasn't ready for a relationship, LOL. So I ended it, good for you, bestie, and told him I'd rather not hang out and or talk if it's not on serious terms. A few weeks later, he calls me at 2 a.m., saying his sister just died in a car crash back home. I couldn't do anything, so he came over and I consoled him, but nothing happened. He ended up saying he regrets not being in a relationship with me and wants me back. Of course, I declined and thought it was weird that he brought this up as his sister just died.
Yeah.
He left, we didn't talk for a while, and me and my friends discovered his sister is fully alive and well. His mom's Instagram was normal, she was going to weddings and traveling, and he fully lied about his sister. I blocked him afterwards because he would never text me, or he would text me every week saying he wants to come over and would just stand outside my apartment building and I'd never open the door. Oh my God, bestie. Later found out he lied to a group of guys 2 years ago about his best friend dying. He's fully well and alive. Not sure what mental illness this is, but I've never met someone that lied about people in his life dying. Assuming he does this to get what he wants. For example, I'm assuming he expected me to say okay being in a relationship with him because I felt bad his sister died. So maybe it's a manipulation tactic. Yeah. Love you, girls.
That's shocking.
First of all, that's insane. That is like
next level.
I just think like that's such bad karma. I remember
could never say that out loud. Oh my God.
I remember one time my ex, like, because he missed class, he like lied and said I had a seizure in the elevator, and he had to call an ambulance on me, and I'm just like,
he's full of these lies. Remember when he got in this total car crash?
Oh, that was a different ex.
Oh, well, one of her exes got in this insane quote unquote car crash, which, like, I don't know, small town, you'd see it in the paper or something, and like it just simply didn't happen. And he put it in such detail about how it changed his entire life, who he is as a person.
Yeah, I have no words other than that. I mean, also, I think we're just kind of glossing over the fact that he would stand outside your door.
Yeah, that's insane.
He clearly is like,
I don't know.
Has he stopped reaching out since? I mean, also, it's weird to lie to your, like, it's one thing to lie to, like, a girlfriend. Yeah. But, like, to lie to your friends about your best friend.
And also, why to go to this extent? Like, why can't you just say, I want to get you back? It's probably going to work.
It is probably going to work. Well, maybe not, though.
Probably not. But, like, you don't have to say this extreme.
Yeah. I mean, I guess some people feel just, like, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
I've seen this on Catfish a lot.
Yeah.
I love that show. I wish there was a new season. Actually, there might be. That is insane.
Yeah, actually insane. Please keep us posted if anything else happens. But for your sake, I hope it does not.
Yeah, same.
That's wild.
All right, well, we are so tired. I need to fall asleep, like, right now.
I know. I wonder if you ever watched this when you were like falling asleep, because I feel like whenever we're filming, it's
Yeah,
like
I feel like I need to personally apologize on my own end for my behavior on today's podcast. If I wasn't like chipper,
I mean,
I'm just
likewise.
like moody and tired today.
Yeah, honestly, same.
Some days when we film, like today, we are both so moody right before we turn the camera on.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the energy today, so we're trying really hard to fight through it. So I hope we did an okay
Gotta
job.
do it for the pod.
Yeah.
We do love you. That's
yeah,
all I
we
can
love
say.
you very much. It's also like 90 degrees in my house.
No, it's like, I don't know why I thought wearing a sweatshirt was a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm about to faint.
Yeah. No, I have the AC set to 62 and it gets really cold at night.
Mm-hmm.
But this house, though small, is so poorly insulated, which I'm grateful for, because the time I left my stove gas thing on all night and then lit candles in the morning, like I would have exploded had it not been poorly insulated. But it gets so hot during the day. I sleep with no covers or anything because it's just, yeah. Anyway, on that note, we will see you next week. Don't forget to send in your confessions to confessionswithease@gmail.com. And
I hope you have a great weekend and week.
yeah, same. And one more week until the rebrand. Wait,
No.
is
I
the
think
next episode the rebrand?
No, I think 2 more. Pretty sure. I could be wrong, though.
If next episode's the rebrand, we've got to get...
I think it's 2 more.
No, it's not. This weekend, yeah, next weekend's the next episode's the rebrand.
Oh my god!
Oh my
That's so
God.
freaking exciting.
Hell yeah. Okay, next weekend's the rebrand, so
Yeah.
we'll see you there.
Love ya.